No, Ritesh. Honestly, I don't want to give the excuses. Just give me a couple of days.
Okay, fine, fine. Gaurav, how about you, Gaurav?
Uh, Same with me, didn't get the chance. Tried
Okay,
yesterday, 3 a.m., but didn't get,
okay, no worry.
not able to complete the questions.
Okay,
I
yeah, when
have
you
not
get
get the mail,
yeah,
assignment
please.
mail only.
Yeah, the same thing is going with me now. Now since last week, the project delivery time is coming and coming. They are pushing us to do at anyhow. So sorry, extremely sorry.
No problem. That's okay, guys. You can take your time. Manikant, you take your time and just get it done.
Yeah, okay.
Sure, sure.
Okay, so I'm going to another topic. So last time we discussed and we finished the LODs calculation, etc. And then I said I'll be starting something more important. Calculation we have finished. These three calculation we have finished. Basic LODs and table
Ritesh sir,
calculation.
in Ritesh sir, in LOD we have learned the fixed and the exclude one.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
we done? Did we do the include one as well?
Yes, yes. We have done include, exclude, fixed, all three. See, include, I took one example where I shown you like for average sales, if you want to get average sales per
Okay.
product,
Yes. 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 Yes.
right?
Yes. 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 Got it.
Remember the examples.
Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, so parameter things, I think I've already, taken the examples of parameter, but once again, I can tell you, see, the parameter, like many times we have discussed, the global placeholder, using that, basically, using that, you can make a calculated field very dynamic. Okay, so what it will do, basically, you can create a parameter that, so that the end user can assign a value to it. For example, you want to create top 10 or top n cells, and this n could be a variable, n like any number, 10, 20, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, any number that user could be interested. So user want, let's say 7, top 7 state or top 7 product. So he can supply 7, and the parameter what it when the parameter receive value 7, that 7 will pass to our calculations immediately, and the calculations will execute the moment he'll hit the enter. By entering 7, immediately the calculation will also get refreshed, and when the calculation refresh, that time the calculation value would be 7, because we are using this parameter inside the calculation. So that is the mechanism to make your calculation dynamic. Okay, likewise I said so many places where you feel like, okay, how I can make something more dynamic. So every time you can use this parameter. These are the cases like top and bottom end result. I said date field, if you remember date field, we create a field, very first calculations for date, my date, where I had a parameter where list parameter. So parameter is three things. Either any value can user assign, you can define a list of values where user can select from the list of values. So if you remember, we did something like, uh, let me start first recording. I think recording is not on. No, no, this is on. Oh yeah, recording is already on. Yep, my bad. Okay, so if you,
Yeah. Yeah. It is the most
yeah,
important thing because
yeah,
we have to refer it again and again.
yeah, so recording is on, no worry. Okay, so date field, if you remember my first calculation date field, where what I did, I had a calculation, I had a calculated field, and using that calculated field, I had something like, you know, I don't think I have here. Maybe another file I can show you. So I had provided user whether user can select um, monthly, YTD, quarterly, or full year. So for that was one way that I provided an option to the user, so user can select, from there. And in the so the way the way we have given them the option select from the 4 time period, that was possible because of the parameter. So using the parameter, I created a list of variables, and now I'm only telling user, hey, you can choose either of this one. Out of this four, you can choose either of this one. So using the list, we are limiting end user to go choose anything from the list. So for example, let me how we can create the parameter. So to create the parameter, here is the parameter, and this is the three things you can see here: all, list, and range. When I'm selecting all, so any value user can pass from his side, any value, but obviously he has to pass within the data type. If the I have taken the float and he is supplying a string, obviously that will not work. So he has to pass only data which data type we have already taken. Okay, so obviously that data, but any value he can supply. When I say list, then I can define what all things he can pass. So for example, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I define 4, so only these 4 will appear in the parameter. When I say OK, when I click OK, only this 4 value will display in the parameter when I say OK, display this parameter. Okay. Now, another thing is like range. So you can also define from minimum to maximum. So by default, it is taking, since I had my list, so now it is taking, okay, minimum to maximum. See, range is good candidate for numbers. Okay. List is good candidate even if you have a string, text value or something like that. Like if you saw that monthly, YTD, quarterly, and full year, that was string value. So I cannot provide that into range, right? Range will work only with the numbers. But list, I can provide one by one. I can write all my uh, candidate. How many candidate I have in my parameters, I can write. Okay. So for example, first top 10, top 5, if I want to write something like that, that also I can write. Monthly, quarterly, YTD, full year, etc. Already I shown you by using the list I wrote. When I say all, that means whatever data type I have, any value can user supply. If it is string, then anything user can write, whatever he want to write, he can write. So that kind of things that you are going to take values from the user using the parameter. Or you can create a list of values using the parameter that you can show on the dashboard and you can use inside the calculation. So all those things are possible using the parameter. Examples already I shown you. Let me go to here. Okay. I think that uh, that is not here, but then I have done it in the very beginning of the calculated when I was started the uh, calculations. says in I mean Tableau calculation. That time only I explained that to you. But anyway, may I will search that workbook. If you want, I can just forward that to you. But then moving on, parameter. So I'm going to use some of the use cases of parameters. So like how you can date field, I have already shown this to you, dynamic dimensions and measures. You can make your graphs also dynamic. So for example, you want to, okay, you are having a line graph, you want to switch it to bar graph, or you want to switch it to some different graph, text, text graph. All those things that you can do using parameter. Reference line. So reference line is something that I will teach you first what is reference line, and then I will show you how you can make a dynamic reference line using the parameter. And sets. Using the sets you can do a lot of things, and I will teach you what is sets, and then I will teach you using parameter how you can make a dynamic sets. So that is the reason I'm not going to use this real cases for now, so this many items. First I will take you the I'll talk about the reference lines, I'll talk about the sets, and then I will go to again the use cases of parameter, because parameter is something where every now and then we'll be keep using it, that is not going anywhere, that always be in the it will be intact with our activities. So what I'm going to take first, I'm going to talk about sets. See, sets are very important things in dashboard, and the why it is important, because some of the time situation will arise, and this is the advanced topic. Okay, sometimes situation arise in the real time scenario where you have to deal with some complex things. So for example, when I say, can you show me top 10, top 5 and bottom 5 in the same view? Okay, top 5 cells, top 5 product and bottom 5 product in the same view. Usually that is not possible. So for example, if I go by my product, I think I had somewhere that, yeah, so these are my top 10 products. Okay, but usually I can only select either my top 10 or top 5. I cannot select top and bottom both. If you see that, if I go to filter, I am here top. See, I can select either top or I can select either bottom. I cannot select both at a time. But my question to you, I want both of this top and bottom together in the view. So that is possible if you can use a set. Using set, I can make it possible. Let us see how. So first of all, before I to define I do this activities exercise, let us understand what is sets. So sets is basically, the name sets is basically nothing but it is creating a subset for you. So the name is called set, but what it is doing, it's actually not creating a set, but it's actually creating a subset of you, because whenever I do a set or something like that, let's say for example I'm talking about the product, and I'm talking about top 5 and bottom 5 together. So now if I have to get top 5 products, so basically I'm talking about subcategories. So what I can do, I can go to create and I can do sets. So this way I'm actually taking a subset of this subcategory. What is subset? Subset is nothing but anything which are coming from the origin. So in that way, in a language of mathematics, we call it as subset. But here in language of Tableau, we are calling this as a set. Okay. But mathematically speaking, this I'm creating a subset. But in Tableau language, this is I'm calling as a set. So that is the difference. So please don't get confused when I say subset or set. Basically, in your Tableau language, it's only set, because you see here it says set. But if you go into mathematics, if you have studied set theory in mathematics in class 12th or in graduation, I don't know, there we have something called a whole set theory, where we study about sets, subsets, etc., and all those Venn diagram. So there, anything which are coming out of a particular set and it holds some value of set, then we call it as a subset. Or even it holds the total value of the set, then also we call it as a subset. And that subset is nothing but we are calling as a set in Tableau. So I can define any name set one by default it's showing here. So I can, let's say I'm calling it as a top 5. Okay, top 5 products. Okay, now if I have to get top 5, and now when I create a, when I click here create and I took sets, then it's creating sets, and now I have all these options here. See the filter conditions, general. I can select how many I want, straightforward way, or I can define the, you know, I can define my logic, my formula, or I can define the field, I can define my condition, or I can take top. I have here top options, so I can take top 5. Okay, now top 5 by sum. Okay, and sum of cells, obviously it will go top category cells. Maybe I will just take it as cells. Yeah, sum of cells, right? So top 5 sum of cells, that's it. When I click OK, I got my top 5 products. When I bring it here, you can see. Okay, so now it is just giving you in and out. If I have to see the members, then I can select show member in the set. Then I can see the member's name. Okay. Another way, if I just want to see in and out, so I can do. So that I can took into filter and I can take in. So in means whosoever are coming into top 5 will be in. And here maybe I can take subcategories. So I'm getting only those 5. So either way you can do. Either you can click at a show member, but then you have to bring into onto rows or columns, or you can take as a show in out of the set. And moreover, if you want to bring it here, see next to if I bring, you can see all members, and whosoever has in, they are top 5. Whosoever are out, they are not top 5. They are outside the preview of top 5. Okay. So yeah, and obviously when I can't do descending ascending because I don't have measures anything to sort the dimensions. What I'll do, I'll bring the one measures. Let's say I'm bringing the cells. Okay, now I can do a sort here. So let us do sort. Okay, now you see all top 5. These are my top 5. So you can see for top 5 I have in, rest all I have out. Why I have out? Because they are not top 5. These are only top 5. So 455, 450,000, 439,000, etc. and so on up to 241,000. So these are my top 5 product. And for top 5, since I had created one sets for top 5, so I'm getting in because that conditions I bring it here. Now, if I can just bring that here and I see I have the options. Either I can filter for in or I can filter for out. I can filter for in and I will get only my top 5 here, right? So easy. Yeah, that way also you can do. Now, what is the use? I mean, directly I could have select top 5 right from here itself, no? I could have gone here and I could have taken the top 5, you know. So easy things. What's the big deal? I could have taken top 5. But then now I am going to do something bigger than that. I'm not going to just get top 5. I'm also going to get top bottom 5 also. So that the reasons sets are going to help me. Yeah, so again, I will go to my product, which is subcategories. I'll go to create, I'll go to sets. This time, again, I'll define this as a bottom 5. I'll go to top and here I'll go to field. Instead of top, I'll take bottom and bottom I'll take 5. Okay, leave other cells by sum, etc. as it is. That's it. Okay, now I got my top 5 and bottom 5. You see my bottom 5 here. If I remove that, what I'll do, it is in and out, but I can also show members, okay, which are, when I show member of, always it will show members which are part of in, not out, mind it. Then I can see their values. Okay, now I got my top 5, bottom 5 sets. Now what to do with these two sets? Now I can select my bottom 5 sets and my top 5 sets here. Okay, now both I have selected using the control. You can see in the preview both have been selected. Now I'll click right click anywhere, and then there is an option called combined, create combined set. When I click there, I have my, and I can define a new name to it, top 5 and bottom 5. Okay, top 5 and bottom 5, and you can see the Venn diagram. This is the bottom 5 and this is the top 5. Okay, and what I'm doing basically, I'm basically, and here are the rules. So all member in the both sets, yes, I want that all member from the both sets. And even if you want to just, if some, you want to create something like some different sets where you just want to see what are the items which are common between both the sets, you can select this one. Or you want to do a left join sets, you can do this one. Or no, left exclusive, left except shared members, you can do this one. And there are Venn diagram itself shows, so there are different rules that you can choose depending upon if you need in your questions. But for now, for me, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the first one, all member in both set, of course, because I want to get all my bottom 5 and all my top 5 together. Okay, when I want both my members from bottom 5 and top 5 together, obviously I have to select all members in both sets. Okay, click OK, and that's it. Now I'll bring this into rows. So it is showing in and out. So one way, like I said, there are two way. Either you can just click show member in set. That is the one way. Another way is what? Another way, rather than going to that, another way is like, another way you can just bring the subcategories here. And you can bring the subcategories here. Now you can see like there are ins and there are outs. And there are more ins. Okay. There are like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 ins because 5s are bottom, 5s are top. Okay. Now I can bring that into filter in, and I can take in. When I do that, I'll be getting my top 5 and bottom 5 together. Now I can bring my cells. I want to look at by cells, so I can bring that cells and I can bring on the column. Let us see, and I'll put into descending order. Okay, now you can see that my chairs, phones, storage, tables, and binders. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to binders. These fives are my top 5 cells, and the bottom, these fives are my bottom 5 cells. Now, if I want to bifurcate this by colors, then I can create a calculated field and top 5 and bottom 5. I'm just drawing at a color. So maybe what I can do, if what was the name of that top and bottom together? Um, top, okay, top 5. Okay, so maybe I can just take top 5. If top 5, then let's say blue. And this text will do not create a color, but at least it'll pass on the value, and that I can bring on to color to show the values. Else what I can do, I can take it as a red if I want to. Okay, that's it. It just to one by create a dimension, and that these dimensions I can put into colors. Okay, so now you can see my top fives are in blue color, bottom are in different colors, orange color. If you want to choose one colors to this, you can define. So for example, it's red, but it's taking yellow color because I automatically it will not understand the okay, you formula is red, so it has to take red. No, I mean it's just that a way that we are, we are distinguishing our members, because the logic when it will pass, and whenever it will pass through that logic, that value will come blue or red, whatever. But then it doesn't mean that it will give you the color. So to get the color, you select this red and then you select the red from here. Then you will get the red. It doesn't mean that blue only. You can get into purple colors if you want, or whatever colors you want, or you want to just remain at blue. Okay, so now you can see like top five and bottom five. Both are in the same preview, and both you can show them by distinguishing or into same page. So that is the advantage of having your sets. Using sets, lot of advanced level thing that we can do, and there are a lot of use cases pro, and that when as and when you keep going on, you keep doing a lot of work, you will realize there are instances where how you can use the sets. But this example like give you sets. Using sets, you can define any certain logic, and basis on that you want to bring some members out and you want to create a dimension of it. You can use set is there to help you. All right, so now apart from sets, I'm also going to talk about group. I think we have reference line. I will before reference line, I'm going to touch upon groups. So there are, if you can see, if you have seen that, if you come under create, you have sets and you have group also. See, calculate field parameter we have already covered. We have learned the set. Now learn about the group. So group is, so what is the group? So basically in Tableau, you need to use group only when you want to create a higher level hierarchy from the granular level data. Okay, so what do I mean that? So let us say when you have something like this, um, let us take the smallest simple examples, because otherwise data will become difficult. I could have taken the manufacturer, because that is like really cumbersome for classroom session, because manufacturer has a lot of data. Okay, now let us assume, okay, when I say higher level hierarchy, that means from lower level hierarchy to you want to create a higher level hierarchy. So for example, let us say you understand, hey, art or chairs, storage, tables, binder, okay, these are your same type of, belong to same families, but here I'm looking at them together. So what you could have done, you could have done it like, you can select this chairs, storage, tables, and anything else, bookcase. Okay, yeah. So let us assume these are part of your one families, and you want to bring them together. You don't want to look them separately. You want to bring them together in your view. Then there is one way that you can group them. You can group them and see all these four will come together now. It's processing. Now you got one line and you see that this has a highest value now for all the four members, bookcase, chair, storage, and one more item that you can see on the tooltip. For all those four items, it has summed their sales value, and now on the name also, alias also, you can see that I can do edit alias. You can see all this for bookcase, chair, storage. Now if you want to, you want to create a name for it. Let's say I'm going to write as a furniture. Okay, and I will have my furniture. So now furniture I can look at together. Now I do not have this separately, I have everything together. You want to ungroup this, okay? You want to ungroup it, you want to back it to the normal granular level view, you can just click, hit ungroup, and now it will back to your normal conditions, how it was earlier. Now, sometime when you want to have, let's say you want to look at the top cells and you want to, like, you are interested to, uh, let me just do one thing. You are interested to look at your all top products, and you want to look at your top product separately, and you want to look at all your bottom product at one bucket. I want to see like how much all bucket bottom products are making sales. So maybe I can just look into my um, running total. Okay, that will not work here because we do not have line chart. Well, let us say what I'm going trying to say. Let us say um, these are my bottom products. I'm just assuming it. So what I can do when I see this is my bottom products, that manually I can select them. Okay, by selecting control, and you can manually also you can select them. Okay, and you can put them into group. From here also, hover over option you have group option you are getting here. You can select this group, and now entire this bottom part, and you can take this as a bottom bottom 5 cells. But please, but you have to mind this is not going to be a dynamic things. Okay, it will always hold those 5 items which you have put into group. So when your data changes, this will not change. This will always hold only those items. So maybe those 5 items are not part of bottom 5 cells, but still it will be holding into this group. But then there are a lot of situations where we want to create from lower level hierarchy to a higher level hierarchy when you want to create, and that time the group is really helpful. So this is your group, and this is the only purpose of group, to make up from lower level hierarchy to higher level hierarchy. Because granular level data, when you group them, then it become the higher level data. All right. So now let us talk about the reference line. See, reference line is the also advanced topic. When you come to analytics, we have this is called reference line, and the use of this is really awesome um, in your analysis when you're doing some good analysis. So let me show you. Okay, so let me show you here itself. When I bring this, when you have to bring, you know, create this reference line, you just have to, what do you have to do? You have to select it, drag it, and drop on the table. Here, three options you are getting: table, pane, and cell. Okay, so table means across the table it will go. When I when I drop it here, so now you can see that one reference line created by default. This is the average, This is the average line. So wherever there is an average of cells, there you can get one line. Okay, so this line is basically telling you, hey, this is your average positions, and anything above that are making above average cells. Anything lower than this line are making lower than the average cells of your entire business. So easily you can identify the product which are less than the average sales and product which are more than your average sales. So good product which are your top product in your business, product which are towards the bottom of your business, you can actually make out those kind of things. Now the second is per pin. To go to per pin, I'm going to take another examples here. um, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the product category. Okay, and then let me take the cells. Now there are two ways that you can do this. If you want to create a reference line of cells, here also you can click add a reference line and your reference line will appear. Okay, or you can go to analytics. From here also you can drag your reference line and your reference line will be appear. So there are many ways that you can bring your reference line. So for example, if I can just do right here, add reference line. So for example, it will do cells reference line. Obviously here we have cells. So if I would have dragged from analytics pane, that also would have done for cells only, for creating reference for cells only. So now when I have entire cells, so you can see that this is my entire cells and here I'm getting my average. Okay, because of my this cells is very high, my average are actually going here. Now what if I just say, one second, let me sort into descending. Okay, and now if you want to edit your reference line, what are you going to do? Edit reference line. Or you want to add one more reference line, you can do add one more, and apart from existing one you can get one more reference line if something like that required. If you want to add it, you can click add it, and the existing reference line you can change. Or if you want to remove your reference line, you can just click remove and it will go away. Okay, but for now I'm going to edit this. Now editing what basically I need, I think this is fine. Here there are some options. So for example, computations, or you can take value. So now this value it is showing here. Okay, when you select computations, it is just showing average, but then when you hover over, you can get the value also. And here the line you can see the gray color. If you want to change this gray color to some different colors, let's say red color, you can do. You can choose the color, etc. from here, what colors you want. Okay, I think gray is fine to me. So let's go by gray. Now we'll discuss about the per pen and per cell. See, per pen, what per pen means, one single preview. So when I come to subcategories, then I will get the pen. Okay, so for technology, one preview of technology is my one pen. Furniture is my second pen. Office supplies third pen. When you have multiple dimension, then only the question of pen will arise. So when I have three pens, now this my reference line, it's giving me reference line across the table. Now it's ignoring for technology, it's not giving me a separate reference line for technology, furniture, office supplies. Rather it's just giving me reference line across my table. Now what if I want to get a reference line, average sales reference line, for each of these three categories? So in that case, what I can do, I have my options given here. I can choose per pen. If I can choose per pen, now here this is my average sales for only for technology. This is my average sales only pertains to furniture, and this is my average sales pertains to office supplies. Okay, so that is the difference for per pen and entire table. If I do entire table, I'll get one single line. If I do per pin, I'll get for each pin, I'll get a separate reference line. Now, what is the per cell? If I hit per cell, it will not make sense in this examples, but then I can try to show this to you. So if you do that, I mean, obviously for each cell is go and show you, it doesn't make any sense to use the per cells here, but I think per pin is good in this context. When you were per table, I think this is also good. Even this is good when you go to your higher level view, like category level, then also it holds true. Even if you go to your down level view at subcategory level, then also it holds true. And if you want to get the per pin level, you can change it to per pin. Now let us see per cell examples. Okay. Well, this is the different case. Sometime when you have a stacked bar chart, remember I have shown you many times a stacked bar chart. And though when you have a stacked bar chart, for example, let me take category itself, and by pressing Control, I select these two and I bring them here. Now I'll select bar chart. Let me take vertical. Now this is my bar chart. Now what I want to stack them by the years. So when I want to stack them by the years, maybe I can drag on the color. Now this year by default, it's giving me year. Now if I go to label or this label, now I can get my all 4 years value. Okay, for it, and I can do little formatting so I'll make it more readable. I don't want any decimals. I want unit to be thousand. Yeah, it's better. So it's more readable now. Now you see that I have my three categories and I have the all each of the category has been splitted by different year cells. So this is my 2019 cell, this is my 2018 cells, this is 2017 cells and 2016 cells. You can look at the legends also. You can identify which year it is. If it is this amber, it's 2017, red is 2018, and the light blue is 2019. Okay, and the dark blue is 2016. Well, if I ask you, can you also give me total cells? You are giving me year-wise cells, that is perfectly fine. But can you also give me total cells for the furniture on the top? You can't buy usually. Why? Because when you bring that sales value, when you bring the sales value is already here. Even if you bring the sales value here, it will not make any difference. You will not be able to get the sales on the top because already it is labeling the sales. Sorry, already it is labeling the sales inside the bar chart. Inside the bar chart for each of this year. Now, how can you get the total sales irrespective of the year for the total for the each of this single bar? For each of the single bar to get that, I'm going to use reference line. Okay, I can go to analytics and I can drag this reference line, and now I can drag two cells. So here is the use of per cells. Now in the per cells, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the value. Let me take it side so you can see this, how it's changing. When I take this value, the value will appear on the top. Okay. You can see the value. Now I have my colors here, line here. So the line is appearing here. What I'll do, I'll make it none. I don't want line and all. Okay. This way I can only look at the value. Now, little more, I think, so from here my job is done. I'll click OK. I'll get out from here. Now you can see here, oh yeah, one more thing. I don't want average. Okay, what I want, I wanted to have, uh, or maybe you can click here. You can edit this. Yeah, I don't want average. What I want total. or even if you do sum, total sum will be same only. There won't be any difference. Now, I think up to this fine. Okay. Now, if you add all these four component 390, 250, 225, and 214, you'll be getting 1076. Okay. Now what? The alignment is little different. What I'll do, I'll change this alignment to center. So I'll select format, and here alignment, you can see that you can select the center alignment. Okay, now it's set on the center. I can take, okay, I think it has gone a little down. So yeah, let it be on the top. So now this looks good. Now you got the total value, okay, and you also have the separate individual year values, and you have the total values. So that is the use of your reference line by per cell. Okay, so I hope now this all are clear to you guys. Now I'm going to take few examples of um, parameter. So this parameters examples, if I take reference lines, etc. So these are very simple things. Like for example, when you want to let me take you, when you want to create some dynamic reference line, for example, instead of average, you wanted to choose between average sales, etc. Whatever, you know, that time, let's say here you can create one parameter also. Okay, and basis on what, like here you have sales, like if I want to get reference line by profit, reference line by some different time field, etc., I can create a parameter, I can choose it accordingly. Okay, that is not a big deal. um, so maybe what I'll do, I'll not using this. Maybe if I want to create separately, I can do it from here. I can define the what all fields you want. You want sum of sales, or I mean, you want to go by sales, you want to go by profit, etc. So basically, the use of that is just like you want end user to select any particular measures. So you want to provide end user an options whether he can also go with the different measures reference line. Okay, let us today, I think we have some time, so I'm going to touch upon first. I'll come to some use cases later. Use cases, anyway, we are going to take so many use cases now, but I'm also going to touch upon this type of filter in Tableau. So the type of filters, as you know, like filters, like we have three different types of filters, and Tableaus are really good at filtering things. Okay, we don't have to actually worried about so many things. It's very easy. So there are three different layer of filters. One is at the data source filter. So when I say data source filter, so for example, the filters which is at the data source level here. In the very first beginning of the classes, we have discussed about the global filter. We call it as a global filter also, or data source filter also. That filter, using this filter, we can restrict the data passing into the workbook itself. So if you want to restrict any data, you don't want them to pass inside your workbook, you can just select your filter here. For example, I don't want one of the categories, let's say furniture. I don't want furniture inside my workbook. I just want to ignore them. Those are something which I'm not looking at right now. So maybe I can just select furniture and I can exclude it. Okay, and using that, or maybe I can select other two and I would have left this furniture. So either way, you can exclude this and that's it. And now this will refresh, and now you can come to any of this page, no matter where which worksheet you come, you will not find furniture in that anywhere in our you know file. If I come to here, new page, and if I bring you categories, and let me show you, furniture will not come. Okay, because that we have excluded at the data source, very at the data source level itself, so it is not showing. So that is the your global filter or data source filter. Using that filter, you can restrict your data passing into workbook. For now, I'm just going to remove that. That is not that I need it. Okay, I just remove my filter. Now let us see the second type of filter, which is the context filter. See, the quick filter we have always, every now and then we have been keep using it. The filter which we bring onto our Tableau view, that is nothing but our context filter. For example, here if you see, so this is our quick filter. I mean, not here at least, because let me show you if I have something or not. So this is subcategories here. If I want to create a quick filter, I can just hit show filter, and now I can provide user, hey user, you can select whatever you want from here. Okay, now they have option to select any filters from here, any product from here, and that is nothing but way of providing a quick filter to the user, and that we called quick filter. We'll see some examples of this. Now the important thing is, very important thing is context filter. That is something which is going to uh, make you think like how actually this works, because that has really, has a really strong concept behind. So, and so what is the context filter? It is an independent filter, and any other filter that we set are defined as dependent filter, and any other filter that we are using, that will automatically become a dependent filter. Okay, and they process only data that is passes through the context filter. What it does, it's improve the performance of your dashboard, and it create a selective filter. So let me come into the context of this. Okay, now you see that the filter which are in gray colors are become context filter. I'll start from the scratch and I'll show this to you. I'll start from the scratch. So for example, I will take one my product, and I want to get sales. Okay, now if I filter for top 10, let us say top 5, I'm going to top 5. So now I'm getting top 5 across the board, across my product. Okay, all top 5 sales I can see right here in my view. Now, my question to you, I want to get top 5 inside technology. Okay, inside the technology, only technology. So, and this filter set true here, see the filter set true. What if I put into context filter? Does it change anything? Chairs, phones. Well, I'll just leave it as it is. And another subcategories I will bring it here. I'll create a duplicate copy of it. No, I will probably let me take this categories. That would be better. Yeah, okay. Now, when I see here, I have my top 5 subcategories, and here I have my yeah. So when I have applied top 5 subcategories, that is filter is here. Now I have my categories filter also coming in. What I'll do, I'll put my categories into context, and so for that I just have to right click and do add to context. When I do context, it will go and sit on the top. Now this becomes my independent filters, and all other filter which I'm having in the same filter self will become dependent filter. So that means now subcategories filter is depending upon categories. So whatever data will pass through categories, only on that data the logic top 5 will apply. Understood the concept? Earlier, if it is was not as a context filter, if I remove from the context, if it is a normal filter, then the subcategories is not depending upon the categories. This will work in conjunction with categories, but not depending upon categories. That means both will work together. So both will be intersecting the data. So for example, if I have, let's say this is my quick filter, so I can just show filter and categories become my quick filter. Now you see that, for example, I'm going to take a drop down, single drop down. So if I take, let's say furniture, okay, what I'm getting chairs and tables. So chairs and tables are actually coming originally in top 5 products. Let me also take one more duplicate sheet here to just show you what originally coming from top 5. So you can see like top 5 chairs and chairs, phone, storage, table. Chairs and tables already was from the part of top 5. So these are like top 5. So now since I have applied furniture and here top 5. So in this both filter in top 5, what furnitures members we have. So furniture members we have this two. So the two we are getting right here. If I can change this to let's say top 10. So for example, if I have top 5 here, I think I have top n. If not, then I can create a dynamic. I can see this is the example of parameter. I can make it dynamic and I can call it as a top n because I don't know what n could be, and n could be anything. Let me take n, and this is an integer that is perfectly fine. I have to show top n, and yeah, it is already showing top n. Now if I can hit 10, then see I'm getting top 10 because in top 10 only 3 products from the furnitures are coming in. If I have top, okay, now let us see the difference between this context filter now. When I add this to context filter, see I am getting 4. I'm getting 4, and the reason because now thus this top 10 is being applied on whatever I'm filtering out from the furnitures. So in that, so whatever data is coming out from the this filter, furniture category is equal to furniture. For example, let us see. In furniture, I have just four product. Okay, I have just four product, and I am actually looking top 10. So obviously everything will be coming since only four products I have, so it doesn't matter, right? Even if I go to top 5, I'll be getting all four product. Even if I go to top 5, I'm getting all four products because I have only four products and I'm asking for top 5. So now it is not going to, it's ignoring that cells earlier conditions. Earlier were we were looking them together. So the condition was, hey, where the category is furniture and it is part of top cell, then give me this results. Now the condition is this is your data. There is no condition. This is your data. In this data, give me top 5. You understood? Are you getting this point or not? Or any questions? Can you give me any comments so that I can understood?
Uh, I think can you please repeat, Ritesh?
Yeah, sure,
So
sure. See, please focus this context filter is really important thing. Many people after working 2 3 years also they don't have a good clarity on context filter. When we ask questions what context filter does, they speak in a way that seems like they don't have sound clarity. So that is the reason this is little conceptual things. Because the filter, normal filter and context filter sounds similar things, but actually it's not similar thing. See, let me give you one examples to make the case very clear to you. Now, okay, so what I'm going to do here, okay, I'll let me move this. Okay, well, subcategories. Let me take this category. Okay, now I'm going to take the whole data. Let me go to text. Hold on for a moment. I'm just going to explain this entire things to you guys. I'm going to take into Excel. Okay, see, this is your categories and subcategories and sales data. Now, if I say, and let me sort this data, column C, what the hell? Oh yeah, it is actually not considering this as a numbers, rather considering as a text. See, it is actually okay, but then okay. What I'll do, there's a quick things. I have an idea. I have to convert this into number before I sort this. So I'll just remove that dollar sign. Where is the dollar? And remove that by blank. Okay. Because there it was not understanding the dollars. Okay. Now I'll sort this. Cells. Yeah. Now I'm getting largest to smallest. Okay. now you can see that. Okay, this is my top, this is my top 10, I mean descending order sales value. Maybe if I can just give them the rank, you can better understand. Rank. Yeah. Uh-oh. This we have to lock this. Okay, so you can see this rank now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 7. Okay. Now here the question is, okay, I will, before I talk about the Tableau context and filter and XYZ things, let us understand two things. If I ask you a questions, if I ask you a questions like, can you give me uh, top 5 where furniture is chairs? What you will do? You will be you will be looking at top 5. It has to be within this, within this, and then you'll be looking at furniture. I said furnitures, right? So you'll be looking at top 5 and then you'll be thinking, hey, there are two furniture in top 5. So these are like intersections where top 5 from 1 to 5 and the category should be furniture. That means both conditions should be matching. Okay, when the both conditions should be matching, then only you'll be get the result. And in that case, this is my resultant, this is my resultant data here. I'm going to write that, and in this is my top 5. Let me highlight this. Okay, now in this one you'll be saying, hey, this is your furniture top, since you were asking for furniture. So this is your top, and within the top 5, um, these are the two. So when I say, can you give me the top 5 sales by furniture, um, top 5, within the top 5 give me the furniture, then you will be giving me this, because this is the same like what I'm saying here. So I have my, mm, remove from the context first. Okay, so this is the same thing I'm saying. Hey, get me the furniture, because I've applied the category filter furniture, and I'm then saying top 5, and here subcategories I have applied the filter called top 5. So you can look at the top 5 I have applied, and here the categories I have applied furniture. So in that way you are just coming here and looking at in top 5 how many furnitures you have, and that results you are giving me right here. And that value of chairs and tables value that you can see right here, that is how we are getting as a normal filter scenario. Okay, this is a normal filter scenario. So in normal filter, what happens, what whatever filters that you are bringing into filter itself all work in conjunctions together. Okay, they work together in an intersection positions. Okay, that means both are intersecting, and whatever data will come out of this intersection of these two filter, that will be your resultant, and that chairs and tables is your result out of these two intersections filters. Now when I choose this 1 2 into context filter, see what happened. I'm getting 4 items. I'll give you the reason why. Now come to this context again, and again I'm just going to remove this, no bother. There's my entire data. Now, my question is, and just forget about that. Let me write somewhere here. I don't care this for now. Now come back again. Now here my question become different. Now what I'm asking to you, hey, get get all the furniture data. Only look at the furniture data. Only look at the furniture data. And in furniture data, get me top 5. So in that way, in that context, what I'm saying get on put only furniture into context. Forget about everything else. Just get only furniture into context, and this is your data. So whatever it is you are passing from this context filter, we are only looking at this data for now. Okay, that means we are ignoring. Consider this is your new data set. Um, Oops, I did mistake. Okay, I could not copy the whole things. Um, Let me. Okay, consider this as your new data, and probably I'll just put it here. Okay, now this is your new data. Okay, and in this data, because this is with what we got out of applying the context filter furniture. Now in this furniture, get me top 5. What you'll do, this become irrelevant to you, obviously, because that applied long back into the old context. Now in this context, my rank will, again, my rank will define, and my rank will be like, well, I will be going like this, and I'll be taking. Okay, now this is my in rank, new rank defined. New rank, why? Because I'm asking you only look into furniture. Forget about everything else. Whatever the rank we were getting from the total data, I'm not interested into total data. I'm interested into only furniture data. Okay, that is the context filter. When I say context something, that means you are getting data only for that item, and now all other filters will apply on this data, on the context. Whatever data has come out from the context filter, only in this new data I am going to apply my other filters, and my other filters is top 5, top 5 cells. This subcategory is normal filter is basically getting me top 5 cells because I have using top 5. You can, if you forgot here, you can just come back here and you can see, and this is top 5 we have applied here. Top and top n is 5, and this is, that is why top 5. And here also you can see, if you can edit filter, you can still see that top n you have applied, and top n is 5 at the moment. Okay, so now this top 5, if I apply this top 5, I say, can you get me top 5 cells from the furniture in this, from this data? You say, yeah, everything is under top 5 because just you got just 4 records and you are asking me to give you 5. So in that case, all these 4 will come as a result. Is it clear? Now you see, when I put into context, all 4s are coming. When I remove from the context, I'll be getting only 2, because in that scenario, this is the things happening. This is the things happening. You are applying in that scenario. When I remove from the context, you are looking at furniture, category is equal to furniture, and subcategories should be top 5 together. But when I add into context filter, you are no more looking together. Whatever data has passed through this filter, now you are going to apply top 5 on that data. That is what it is here.
So basically, it is a similar function which we are using in the SQL query for the rank function, where we do the partition and all. And if I need a specific column, then that specific column is nothing but the category and the value.
Well, yeah, could be. What analogy you are giving me, yeah, that could be true. But then just to make everybody else who do not understand SQL to understand
but
it
but
better, just to understand them, when you do context filter, basically all other filter in the cells, basically you are making them dependent. You are making them dependent, and when they become dependent, they will act only on top of the context filter data, only on top of context filter data. So whatever data is coming out of this filter, now my top 5 subcategories will work on that data. Any questions from
no,
Rohit, Gaurav, Manikant, anybody? Any questions?
No, I'm clear.
Okay, perfect. Well, so that is the context filter, and the use of context filter is used when you get into real-time development scenarios. When you have some complex situations, you will find this as a lifesaver. That is really, really super helpful in the handling the complex situations. But that is what is the original concept. If you understand this concept, you can think about where you can use it. Okay, so that's all for this session, and I'm going to uh, stop it here. We just have 4 minutes left. So in this 4 minutes, if we want to discuss anything, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer, and then we'll connect tomorrow to discuss further topics. So all good? All right then. So I would suggest you guys to